Hi friends, welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Love Activist. I am Kuda the Love Activist. As you know, I am on this hero's journey towards self-love and healing, and relationships are a big part of any hero's journey towards being their fullest, most loving selves. And so today I'll be featuring my husband and best friend and the resident weirdo of this household, Quentin Nyuombe, and we'll be sharing with you how we met, what this weird, crazy journey has been like, and what kind of relationship we're building towards. Every relationship has a purpose. What is the purpose of our relationship? And so we'll be sharing that with you. Stay tuned, subscribe, share, and you're in for a really crazy, love-filled, beautiful ride. Love ya. Is everyone ready now?
Yeah.
Hi guys. Sorry, please close that door. But the cars passing is a thing. Hi guys. These are my people. Who are you?
I am your husband.
Who are you?
Money.
Miley. Who are you to me? Miley. Okay, so how did we meet, sir? Oh, okay. My first question is, where were you emotionally, mentally the day we met, or when we met? What was going on in your life?
Not just. I had come out of a long-term relationship with someone who is a good friend to me, and so I was at the end process of sorting myself out.
When you say sorting yourself out, what do you mean? What were you?
You go through all the emotions of heartbreak, anger, regret, lashing out, the whole rebounds and meeting other people to just make yourself feel better. And yeah, I'd gone through those processes, and I was towards the end of them. I think that would be more appropriate. Yeah.
On your way to Thailand.
Yes. I wanted to go to Thailand and just fuck shit up. Excuse my language.
When we met, I had been struggling to make any kind of relationship work. The longest relationship I had ever had was like 3 months. But, let me say 3 months bouts with the same person or same people. So we do 3 months, then check, and then another couple of months goes by, and I was like, okay, I'm actually tired of this up and down. I need to stop terrorizing boys. I need to stop seeing myself as a victim, and I need to take responsibility for the fact that I need to learn how to make a relationship work with myself before I'm trying to incorporate other people in my situation. And so when we met, I was dating myself. I had decided to dedicate a year to myself, not in a men are trash and no, in a let me give to myself the things I am hoping, other people will give to me. And so the day that we met, we met in a very strange way, I think, because we kind of passed each other. Because I was doing the 48-hour film project with my business partners, and you actually came to one of our screenings the year before, and you gave your card to my business partner, Kudrano. And then in January of the following year, you called me because the business card she gave you was mine. Money, please. Was mine. And so I just get this call from this person saying, hi, I'm from this company. We want to see if we can buy some of the short films that we saw at the cinema. Please, can we meet? And then, so we came to the business meeting. And the first thing I thought when I saw you was, at the top of the steps, I even remember what you were wearing, was like, ooh, this brother's fine. Then I was like, actually, he's way too put together to be single.
For me, it was a business meeting.
You weren't a creep like me, basically.
No, no, I don't mean it in that sense. I mean in the sense that when you guys came, I think I'd met Kutlwano before. So she was a familiar face. And then I met you and Mkundi. And so for me, it was more of a, I think it was once the meeting started whereby as you started to speak and open up, I was drawn to how you presented yourself. I was drawn to your energy and your, I can't even put it into
What?
if you look at my friends, there's something about strong women. I get along with strong women. So a lot of my friends, I believe them to be strong women. Some, when we met, they didn't know it. Now now you see them and they are these strong women. And so you had that, and I was like, okay, this one grab the bull by the horns type. And that's my type. And I'm like, but so at first I didn't know if I was still in my rebound sense, and if like I didn't know whether I'd fully figured myself out. But then I'm one of those where at times I just say F it, let's go and see where let's go and see where we end up. But yeah, so I didn't say anything, and I didn't even I suppressed, and I was like, no, don't do it, it's unprofessional. It's unprofessional. You just met this person, and this person might have a person, like you don't know what's going on in their life. So we then conducted the business side. Then there was a second meeting where it was a lunch, I remember, in Melville.
I wasn't there though.
You went there, only Kutlwano and Mukundi attended. So then at least that was a more relaxed environment. And I got to talk to them, and then I was asking where you were, and they told me that your grandmother had passed away.
Segue, my grandmother, who every Wednesday would gather with her best friends to pray for the fact that all the female members in our family are unmarried, and so they would intercede for this moment. Continue.
Okay. So yeah, I think from there, I can't remember what the conclusion of the meeting was. But then the meeting ended, and then I was back at work, and I don't know why I called actually. Come to think about it,
Well,
at this moment in time.
You called under the guise of giving me a breakdown of what happened in the meeting that I missed, but that Kutlwano told me exactly what happened. So he's like, okay, this is what we discussed, this is what we talked about. I'm like, great. And I put him on speaker because I was with Kutlwano. And then after he gives me the lowdown, hold down on the meeting, he's like, can you put me off of speaker? I'm like, okay. So I put him off of speaker, and I'm like, yes. And then you were like, so it's not often that you meet someone, who you kind of vibe with. And I don't know if you're a single lady. Those were the exact words.
No, I don't speak like that.
Single lady. But yeah, if you are hungry one day and you want to have lunch, I'd like to have lunch with you.
Yeah, no, I would have probably just gone straight to them and said.
No, you didn't. That's what you said. That's what you said, bro. Anyway, I was like, I'm dating myself right now, and so I will come back to you about the lunch.
No,
thing.
that's not how it went. However, I proposed lunch. I know that I proposed some sort of a get together. I think lunch was it, or brunch, or something of that sort. And then you said you were dating yourself, and then I said, that's great.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, you did.
then
And
let's
then,
have lunch.
and then I said, I'll come back to you. And then I dropped the phone, and then I screamed, and then I said, Kutlana, I like him so much. I don't want to like him. This is dangerous. Maybe let's just email each other for a while, and then I don't know. And then Kutlana said to me, remember that you've been wanting to work on actually building friendships with people of the opposite sex. This is your opportunity and your chance. I'm like, okay, you're right. Let me get into this building a friendship with someone and seeing someone as a human being and not a potential partner. And then I called you back and I said, yes, sure.
Okay.
And then we decided we're gonna meet the Sunday. I think that was Monday, and we said we'd meet the Sunday. And then the whole week we were just talking and texting back and forth. I was just like, oh, this is bad. This is so bad. I have so many feelings. And mind you, I'm not a believer in feelings. I'm like, love is a choice. You choose who you love and crunch on a crumb. So this whole thing was freaking me out. Sorry, are you okay? Yeah. So we met for our date in Rosebank. And yeah, there was just such a familiarity between the two of us. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the common thing. Even in that meeting, there was that energy I speak of, and I kind of, it was a familiar. It's as though I can't articulate it like that's my people type. But and then as someone begins to speak and open up, it becomes more and more and that's but then you don't know. It's not like a romantic thing. It's not. It's a.
Beyond. It's weird. It's just weird. It was
because even when we started to talk or to chat, we talked for hours. It wasn't the lovey-dovey stuff. No,
it wasn't sexual in any way.
Yes. I mean, if it was, you would have probably told me to go. But it wasn't. That wasn't the energy. We could speak from the moment I arrive at work to the moment I go to bed at night and do it again the next day and so forth and so forth. So there was that, and for me, that's normal because I don't know. A part of me believes that's how relationships should be.
Yeah.
So,
but it freaked me out. I don't want to lie. So
yeah.
a week. So we go on our date, and then it's like obvious and clear that this is the thing that's happening.
Yeah, it didn't even feel like a first date.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was just like okay, this is happening now.
Yes.
It's too late. And so we started chatting. I think we saw each other the next. We had said when we separated, like when we said bye, that okay, we'll see each other next weekend. And then we saw each other the next day, and then the next day after that. And then, when was it that I called you to say, things are moving too fast, and you were at Clicks buying Vaslaps and toothbrushes? I think it was like a week into it?
No, it wasn't a week.
It wasn't a week?
No, it was, I think, maybe week 2.
Okay.
Because, the timelines for me are just
mashed up.
Yeah. So I remember there was a time where we met after we met at my old company.
Yes. Because I was trying to export something and I needed internet.
And then we ended up going to the garage where we spoke all night. And I don't know how it ended.
Didn't I sleep over?
You slept over, yes.
And I had many rules.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sleeping over, but this doesn't mean don't try it.
There's nothing that happened. You slept over, and I was a gentleman as usual. And then from there, I would sleep over at your place as well. And I think that's where the toothbrush situation came in, because I had to leave your place and go straight to work. And then I would get annoyed because I didn't have all the things I needed there. So I thought, let me go buy my stuff. Then I'll just buy stuff for you as well, so that there's no inconvenience over.
Now, mind you, at this point, I just moved into my place and I had said no penises are allowed in my place, and he infiltrated. And so I was like, this thing is moving too fast. So I called him and I'm like, we need to take a couple of steps back because this is a lot. And he's like, I'm at Clicks right now buying toothbrushes and like things to leave at your place, and for you to have stuff at my place. And I was like, what? That's never happened before. This is why we need to back it up. And then he's like, okay, meet me for coffee in Sandton. I have a meeting. Let's talk about this before we make any rash decisions. And so I'm like, okay, fine. I get to Sandton. I see you, and we didn't even have a discussion. We just looked at each other and we're like, yeah, let's stop. Let's not fight what cannot be fought.
Yeah, no, we had a small discussion.
Okay,
where you're saying we're moving
now
too fast,
memories.
and I was like, okay, who's
Are you tired?
who's this relationship? Who's this relationship traffic cop? Who determines the speed of relationships? Hey, put you over 120 on a 60 zone. So
Well, if you are feeling, you can go. You wanna?
Yeah, no, I think we had a brief conversation about it where I was saying, like, who says what's fast and what's slow, like, who determines this speed, which, and then I think from that point you understood, some relationships take time, some relationships there's more familiarity, some relationships there's less, but it doesn't mean that those relationships or those people should not be together, you see. So I think from that brief conversation, you kind of bought into the logic. Actually, who's saying we're going too fast?
According to whom?
According to whom? And then I think from there, you let your guard down a little bit more.
I think for me, it's because I was addicted to finding relationships for so long that I was just scared that I'm just jumping into yet another thing, right? But at the same time, I had changed. I wasn't looking for someone to fulfill something in me anymore. And so that's the other reason why I was able to make sense of what was happening, because I was no longer looking to you to provide a missing part of me. It just felt so natural and it just felt so organic. That it made sense. And then we dated, we enjoyed each other, and then a few months, literally like 2 months later, we decided, let's try and make a baby because we're crazy. Okay, maybe it wasn't too much. It was soon. It was soon.
To me,
because by the time it was soon into it, because by the time that year ended, I was pregnant. I was 3 months pregnant and engaged.
But that's the whole thing, is that I have timelines for work. I have no timelines for feelings and relationships, and so at the beginning, a sense of time, to be honest, I did not have it. In that we traveled, we were going to Cape Town twice or something, a lot happened, which is why for me it didn't seem like
such a short space of time.
And we spent so much time together. And so
we were together every single day, like every single day.
Yeah, so eventually when you told me that you're pregnant, like, was the happiest guy because I knew my person is gonna give me my other person.
But what made you? Because it was his idea. It was his idea
No,
too. Yes.
I don't even remember what conversations.
There
were
was
had.
no conversation. There was just lovey-dovey-ness, and then you said, "Let's try and make a baby," and then I agreed because I was drinking the Kool-Aid.
I honestly I don't remember saying those words.
Because remember, we struggled. It wasn't like we decided and then boom. It took a while. It took a good 4 or 5 months. Mali. It took a while for us to. In fact, the way we even found out, because we had stopped trying at some point, and then
I didn't know what.
Father in heaven, come now and tell the truth. Shame the devil. Anyway, we had stopped trying. We had stopped buying pregnancy tests every week.
Yeah.
And I was at my place and I was editing something and I was exporting and it was like gonna take forever. And then I am like, okay, I'm bored while this thing exports. And so I found a pregnancy test in my cupboard. I'm like, let me just take this test for fun, literally for fun, while I wait. And then it came out positive. I'm like, I called the son. I'm like, don't get too excited. This thing said it's positive, but I think let's take another test, those clear blue, the sexy ones, to make sure that is this thing a real thing. And you came rushing home, and like making me drink water so that we can take this test as soon as possible. And then yeah, it was positive. It was a positive situation. And then things changed, not because of us, but our financial situation changed quite drastically in that time.
It was. I went into a business venture, which was a good. Well, it was.
An idea.
Yeah, it was a very. It took all of me, and I think I overexposed myself financially. I overexposed myself emotionally. I like overexposed myself in every way I can imagine. So when it sank and it didn't work out the way that I'd hoped, to rebuild myself, it took some. I think I'm still in the midst of rebuilding as we speak. So yeah, and that happened because Ibremba as well. You guys were working through.
Also, like, what are we doing? I just felt like I couldn't get a grip on my business at the same time. And now there's a human being that's growing inside of me and there's no real plan. There's no income really that's consistent, that's coming in. So it was a very stressful time. I mean, you were...
Was a zombie.
Yeah, I would say that you were depressed, to be honest. Like you always say, that you feel like you missed out on a lot of the pregnancy because of the fact that you were in the upside down with your business venture, and I worked really hard to try not to build all that anxiety into my pregnancy, but it was a very stressful time. Thank God for family, because without them, it would have been impossible. But we gave birth to a very healthy, happy human being on the 16th of June, Youth Day, our youth baby. In the midst of trying to rebuild, I mean, at some point you were sleeping on floors, we had nowhere to live, I was staying with my mom. And then we kind of not had a discussion, kind of sneaked in the fact that Quentin is here every day to see the baby and do things, and now he lives here.
It was done in such a...
like, he slid into my mom's DMs type situation. And then we lived with my mom for...
It was a year.
Yeah, it was...
And then we had that house that we then also stayed there for how long? there.
Did we move from mom to Bev's?
Yeah.
Okay,
We moved
yes.
From there to Emma.
Yes. So Quentin is friends with a whole lot of old ladies, and one of the old ladies was going to New Zealand.
Yeah, she was going
Australia?
to New Zealand for 6 months
Yeah.
or something like that.
And she needed someone to house sit.
Yeah.
We were like, we need a place to live,
Yeah, so
rent free, while we figure ourselves out.
Yeah, so we did that. And then I think from there we went to Sonneplaats.
But before we go there, because that was also a very tough time in our relationship,
Yeah,
only because I think later on, before we moved into Bev's house, which was in like January or February, we had discovered that we're pregnant again. And it was with twins, and unfortunately, we found out that we had a miscarriage. And then I went in to have my womb cleared and to put in a Mirena. And then literally a week later, Miley was now in hospital.
yeah.
She was 6 months old in hospital, vomiting, high temperature. No one knows what is going on, what's happening. This tiny little body with like drips and blood and all sorts of things. And my reaction was just, okay, to it all. Literally, I numbed myself out completely. I didn't feel my way through the miscarriage. I didn't feel my way through Mali being in hospital. In fact, I resented Quentin for feeling and having feelings and, being expressive of those feelings. I was just like, why can't you just swallow them like the rest of us type thing.